Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's Tuesday night, and you are watching The Rabbit Hole right here with yours truly, Mr. Blazeman, Mr. D, Mr. Donald, and Mr. Jim. We hope everyone out there that is about to tune in or is tuning in, hope you all had a great and safe Thanksgiving with your loved ones. And we're just going to come at you a little bit hard tonight here on the rabbit hole. And we're going to start this off with my boy, Jim. You got it, buddy.
All right. Started off nice and hard, Blaze. See what I
You
can do.
all right
Speaking of
now?
hard,
Work
speaking of
from
things
the
that
work from the bottom.
that's it, buddy. Speaking of hard, you know what? You know we haven't heard a lot about is Paul Pelosi getting hit with a hammer too. I just want to bring that up.
Good call.
Just throw that around once in a
Good
while.
call. Good call.
It's amazing something that big of a story like just disappears. We never got to see any video footage, and everybody knows it was a big sham, you know. But anyway, yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, just something if you want to kick around later. I just came to my mind.
Yeah.
And
I'll
also,
jot
I
it.
just jot it down. And
Yes.
also, I just want to mention the price of oil today is a nice low $4.95 in the Northeast average today. So thank you again, Mr. Biden. And speaking of money, that's what I want to talk about is money in Washington, money in politics, and just the crazy amount of scandals in the amount of money that's just squandered away in our government. I don't know if anybody heard about this story last week. Again, it was a lot bigger last week than it is now because, as usual, everything gets buried. Um, but it was a basically it was a conspiracy where a company called FTX, it's a cryptocurrency
Yes.
company. They ended up going bankrupt and all this other stuff, claiming bankruptcy. This guy, Sam Bankman Fried is his name. They ended up trying to like get him on laundering charges, all of this other crazy stuff. And in digging through this, they found out that this guy, Sam Bankman, he donated like $70 million to different campaigns, most of them Democratic. Actually, all of I believe were Democratic, but some of this money also got funded to Republican campaigns as well. And then as they started digging through this, the story was that some of this, I think it was $30 billion worth. It was $30 billion worth of aid that went to Ukraine. Somehow, some of it ended up purchasing stock from this FTX company, and in turn, that's where some of that money came from that he donated to all these people. So it's kind of just like a money laundering scam, basically. I did some digging. I couldn't get too far with it because, like everything else, unless you're in with the in crowd, you're never going to know what really happened to all that money. But the funny thing was they didn't ever do like federal auditing on any of this. Again, you can look it up if you don't believe me. They passed that bill through and it never got audited, so nobody really knows where that money went. It was supposed to go to weapons and all types of stuff to help the Ukraine people. But again, as the story goes, some of it went to purchase this stock from this failing company, and in turn, that got moved back to people in Washington. So, and along with that, another one of the big stories I read was Biden with this. It's called the Climate Justice something or other. It's basically climate reparations to developing nations, which I don't even know what the hell it's supposed to do or what it's supposed to be for. I don't know if it's supposed to be to help these people focus on developing green energy while their country is developing or what it is. But it's to me, it's going to be another huge slush fund for all of these senators, all of these representatives, everybody who's got their hand on those bills are going to get kickbacks from them. I guarantee it. And again, it's our money. I didn't vote for that. I don't need my money going to some third world country because I drive a car and use fossil fuels. I mean, that's the whole reason why we're able to have what we do is because the industrial revolution and all the stuff that comes from oils and fossil fuels. I don't owe anything to anybody for that. And what's even funnier is China is considered a developing nation. So some of this money that's going, this $1 billion, is going to
Put
end up.
that hound away.
Yeah, I know. He's always yapping, like me. So this money's going to China too. I mean, China's already got Joe Biden. He's got some of these big basketball players. All these people that are in this guy's back pocket. His son. I mean, his son pretty much is in his back pocket too. So yeah, it's crazy. It's amazing that we just keep doing this, and nobody's standing up for it. So, what do you think about that?
Jim, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good mention of this FTX crypto. Um, I came across them in a World Series. I want to say it was 2 years ago, and when they were. You gonna play
Exposure to
this?
FTX as well as the crypto winter caused this bankruptcy filing. And since the FTX fallout, the new acting CEO selected BitGo to take custody of FTX's assets. Joining us now to talk about this is Mike Belshi, BitGo co-founder and CEO. How was the hearing today? I want to find this out because I know it was about 10 days in to the bankruptcy filing that we finally got the first day motion. So was today any different? Was it still chaotic a little bit?
Well, I think the bankruptcy court and proceedings is mostly an area that the lawyers are going to be able to talk more intelligently about. I think with FTX, it's going to take a while to sort out exactly what the status is of the assets and then figure out what goes to which creditors.
All right, and let me ask you about your upcoming role. If confirmed in this upcoming hearing, you would take custody of these assets. What is the state of these assets? We know some of the figures, only a fraction seems to be available recovery-wise, but what's your role in this process?
Sure. Well, imagine you're John Ray, and you've just been appointed CEO of FTX, kind of in bankruptcy. You've let the previous management go, and you discover that the assets that are held by the company are actually held in self-custody under the possession of the prior management. And your job is to make sure that this goes through an orderly, disciplined process to make sure that the money gets back to its rightful owners. So, look, I think the new team is doing a great job. They've got a lot of work to do. They've done this before. And in the filings that they've had so far, they've said, look, this has been some of the poorest financial controls, security controls, operational controls that they've ever seen. So they got a big challenge cut out for them. They picked BitGo to help with custody. Right away, they had to figure out how to get the assets away from the prior principals to make sure that there can't be further losses. And as you know, there's been some rumors of hacks. There've been not just rumors, actually confirmed hacks. And the question is who was doing those? So job number one, get control of those assets and make sure that you're going to be able to distribute them properly later.
And I'm guessing you're in this for the long haul because it was only in September, a precious few months ago, that the Lehman Brothers bankruptcy from 2009, I believe, was finally wrapped up. These are lengthy proceedings. I'm not going to ask you for legal advice here, but a lot of customers are looking at this process and they want to know when they're going to get their money back. What's your role in facilitating that? Any projections that?
All right, D. So you were saying?
How I was rudely interrupted. Thank God for paper, man. So going back to FTX, Sam Friedman, he is the little wolf. I can't say Wall Street, but of Bitcoin. A lot of people are going to go down because of this Bitcoin, i.e., Tom Brady, his ex-wife, David Ortiz, a whole bunch of others promoting it. Oh, Steph Curry, let's not forget him. And
but why would they all go down for that?
Yeah, what
I
are they
mean,
going
I
down
mean, I mean, they got fucking duped in it just like everybody else does. It was this Ponzi scheme.
no, but the way the commercials are laid out is like basically they're telling the customer, "I trust them." And there's key words in the commercials. Blaze,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
seen the court docket against all these defendants in it.
Right.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a crypto, i.e., Steph Curry? Have you seen his crypto commercial for FTX?
No, I can't say I have. No.
Look
But
at it,
he's
man.
just saying. But isn't he just saying what he's to believe in because he's being duped just as well as everybody else. And they're finding all of this shit out just like everybody else in the public is like, wow, what the fuck is going on here?
That-
And
That's the obligation they got to take, though, Blaze.
if we paid attention to the video, it clearly said that they had the worst financial records that they ever seen in a fucking company ever. You know what I mean?
He was the wolf of now. You've seen that movie, Wolf of Wall Street,
Yes,
right?
of course. One of my favorites. Yep.
Yes, sir. And this guy was doing it with the crypto coin, but he was trying to hide the money and show it when it came to important people, and that's what I'm seeing here, man. And of course, his residence is in the Bahamas. Go ahead, Donnie.
Right. No, I'm with you, Demas. What I'm trying to understand is where are they going to go at with it? Because if they're going to say where are these people going to get their money back that invested, well, you invested in something that wasn't 100%. I'm sorry, I don't know why you think you need to get paid. I really don't. You lost money.
But taking a chance just like everybody else.
But from the legal aspect, though, if they come with what they call fraudulent misrepresentation charges, meaning that the people that, like Steph Curry and Tom Brady, that endorsed this product and said those commercials, intentionally misled these people thinking that they knew that this.
Yeah, because they knew about it.
Okay,
if they knew about it, go after them, right? Yeah.
Right. But I can't honestly see where all these superstar athletes were using marketing to try to promote crypto. Because I mean, of course they have skin in the game, they have money involved. I just don't understand where that's so wrong. I really don't understand why people are all like, oh, hey, you made the choice to invest it. It goes back again to the accountability piece. The marketing people from Budweiser, when they see the commercials in the Clydesdale on Christmas, that doesn't force you to go down and get a 6-pack of beer and go get a DWI or something.
No.
You chose to invest in something, so why should you get paid back?
I just pulled up the commercial, and I would like to show it on the air. What I'm going to do is just put the hyperlink in our little box. Yes, but just look at and you're gonna we're gonna talk through it nicely with each other, right?
Okay, let's do that.
Of course, we always talk nicely.
We're gonna talk nicely.
My problem with this whole situation is, boo-hoo, what was me? Like I saw in the news, a lady suing Kraft because supposedly her instant mac and cheese wasn't cooked enough in the thing or whatever, and now it's their fault, and I need $5 million? No.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You put the shit back in the microwave, dumbass, and cook it some more. I mean,
it's like the idiot who spills coffee on themselves, right? And then they
and then they get sued McDonald's. Yeah, that's the kind of frivolous shit that is just clogging up our courts. And I'm sorry, people start, no, dumbass, it's your own damn fault. Deal with it. I mean,
you got it, Blaze.
So
I was more interested in the fact of the rabbit hole conspiracy theory that this dude pretty much just took the money out and gave it to, in donation.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Can I talk to you about something?
Yeah, we talked about it. I got another 10 years left.
Figures you did.
Maybe
Give you
15.
the Tom Brady
Not that.
one.
This is big. What do you think? Are you in?
You know what? I'm in. Let's call everyone.
Hang on a minute. Oh, how dare you call this number? Okay, I'm in. Whatever.
Who's that?
That was my mom.
Hey, Donut, don't eat that.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm in.
I'm in. Hey, Arthur, I quit.
I'm in.
T-Bone, is it the downstairs toilet again?
Hello, Tom. Doggy coin?
Sue, Mark.
Are you in?
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
All right, this last one might be tough.
Nah, he loves you.
Probably just get another dentist. This guy. First, even if you wanted to come back, we wouldn't take you.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, we would.
You're right, we would. What's up?
I'm getting into crypto with FTX. You in?
What providing gives 360-degree access to the crypto markets with the ability to trade everything from alts to DeFi. I believe I'm in, but still hate you.
Understood.
Take care. Best of the family.
Is he in?
Yep,
Did he say he hates you?
he did.
Even on the phone, that guy sounds handsome.
Okay, go. So
I'm in.
how are they? Yeah, I'm in
Man,
too.
that
I'm in.
that commercial
I'm
that
in.
commercial is built on trust. If Tom
but they
Brady and his
also-
no, listen, you're dealing with money here, man. People's livelihoods, and granted, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the young millennials.
How do you think
They-
those people that Bernie Madoff fucking robbed? He had the biggest Ponzi scheme going ever, and he fooled billionaires.
Yes,
fucking billionaires.
and so did this Sam Friedman kid.
You know,
Dude, his and just to
So did this Sam Friedman kid. Go ahead,
This has
Jim.
nothing to do with anything. There's no facts here. I'm just saying, when you see a guy's name that says Bernie Madoff, you don't invest with him, dude. It's like that should be a red flag. All of these guys. There's another one.
Yeah.
Sam Bankman just sounds like he wants to rob you. You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right.
With a
I
last
got
name Madoff, you don't give him money, dude. I mean,
No,
he was
no.
born for this.
No, but
I'm
look,
sorry.
I think the point Donnie and I are trying to make, I'm not trying to speak for Donnie, but is the fact is I don't understand how those people are obligated to anybody when they got robbed just as much as everybody else did. They bought in to the crypto FTX company. They bought into it, you know? So I don't see how they're, going to get taken down for it. Donnie?
I don't see where any of that makes them financially responsible or liable for another person's bad investment. And this is another way I could say that in lawsuits and them charges are bogus, because when you get the charge sheet, is everybody else in that commercial listed as a defendant, or is it just Tom Brady and the rich motherfuckers that got money?
Right.
Oh, sorry.
So
So if it's just the rich ones that got the money, and you're trying to get them, then it's just a grab for money. And to me, you just got burned and you're mad. Well, I'm sorry, you got burned. That's what happens in investing.
Because that would be pretty fucked up if they brought all those other people. Those are just actors and actresses, fucking, making a few bucks. That's to say, like, hey, you defrauded the fucking American public too. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's no different than somebody who, I mean, to me, no different than an Allstate commercial. You're in good hands with Allstate, and then they screw you, like every insurance company does. You're still paying them, and you get screwed in the end. I mean, I guess it's a little different when you lose your life savings, but again, that's kind of your own fault.
Donnie?
Oh, this FTX, this is more concerning for me. There's a Schedule A FEC Form 3X. It's an itemized receipt, right? And this came with Mitch McConnell when they were talking some of the Ukraine money. 2.5 mil went back to his companies or something else like that. So you go on the internet, you do some research in the story. It says, see the documents. Okay, you see the documents. And at the top of the Schedule A, where it says name of committee, it says Senate Leadership Fund. And then it goes to these different people. It looks like 2.5 mil goes to Valero Services, Inc. So they're probably some kind of political campaign or political group that does something for them, right? And then there's like John Childs, and he's got a legal firm. So that's where the lawyer gets some money for doing up the paperwork.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom, it's Ryan Salimi, and it's FTX. What is it? Some FTX entities or whatever. So how is this dude getting Senate Leadership Fund money? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, that's my point.
Where the
But
fuck is the oversight? Come on
Yeah.
now.
what he was trying to do, he was trying to massage them individuals
Well,
with campaign donations, so
right,
they'll have the vote on the table. If you look at who he helped belonged
right,
to that fucking committee.
right.
Yeah, it
And
was
see,
all
this
like I
is where,
said, but again, how do you donate one? I think Freed. I think it's Freed, right? Not Friedman. I think it's Freed. Sam Friedman. He donated like 70 million to Democratic campaigns, and I think his buddy, I don't know, Sam's. No, not Sam. I forgot the other guy's name, but he was like his partner or something. He donated like 20 million to like different Republican campaigns. So they were one of the same in the same company, basically donating all of this money, and all the while the company's burning while everybody's investing in it. So that's my point. Like, you've got these people who are investing their money and you're using it for donations. At the same time, again, I think part of that money, if that's what you're talking about, Donnie, came from um,
an
the
aid package for Ukraine.
donations for for Ukraine. So that's the
Yeah,
point. Kind of went in a circle, and they got what they wanted out of it, and then
right,
now they want to send like another 40 billion. It's
right.
like, oh man,
But to me, this right here, this Form 3 FEC thing right here, that just tells me I should be able to take you to court on that because that is just a basic bribe. That is a bribe.
yeah.
To me, that's a bribe, black and white bribe. That's a legal way to bribe somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, they go to all these committees, and yes, I know the politicians, they got to extract money out of the economy. That's how they get paid and how they can keep their pockets fat. So, okay, if we're doing all these aid packages and we go and we give all this aid, well, then all these my companies, because remember, we've always talked about how you can't make a campaign donation straight to a politician, but you can make it to a company that they own, right? An entity that they own. Well, the same thing, the exact opposite occurs where we extract money from the taxpayers and them, and then my companies that I own help facilitate the distribution of those funds. So then I'm getting paid. I mean, that's just
It's
the way
just
it
a
works. But
freaking scam, dude.
it's all a scam. And I'm just, but how can we change that? Because we got to get the very people that make the laws to vote themselves out of office.
Yeah, well, I guess that was going to be the ending question. I mean, even with just that's one like little situation. You know how many like different situations there are like that? I mean, you could do this, a million different ways.
Look at it like war, because there's a war happening in the world. They're losing it to extract money, right? So the longer that we keep Ukraine going, the longer I'm getting money in my pocket, and I'm building my thing. But then that tells me, really, at what point is it about the suffering and the pain and the fight for freedom that we want to put out there from the White House administration and all this other stuff?
Well,
is it really about that at that point?
No, I think it's absolute bullshit. Again, most of the people, I think it was on the last time we were on, we watched that short clip of, how they're spinning all of this. What we hear in the news and all of this other stuff is not anything like what's actually happening over there. This is all to line their pockets, 100%. And again, like I just mentioned, the stupid climate justice thing. This is just another huge, money laundering scheme and a way for these politicians to just keep putting money in their pocket. Do you think anybody's going to know where this $1 billion goes? No, absolutely not. It's going to go to some dude out in, some third world country, and then it's going to end up back in some politician's pocket, a portion of it. That's all it's going to be.
Here's the problem I have with that climate that word reparations right there. That's the problem I have with that.
Yeah, I don't owe people shit.
Exactly. But how about you pay me, because India and China, you guys just don't give a shit. And that stuff floats in the air for quite some time. It makes its way over here. I got to bring that shit in too. But why would you call it reparations? Why? in a time in the world where we're all so divided. This is I can't believe, mouth drops, just, I don't know what they think up there sometimes. You done lost reality. Because as divided as we are in this world right now, the racial tensions across the globe, you're going to put out the word reparations because that means somebody did something wrong to somebody. Yeah. How about you talk about, and you put the fund as a global fund for unification to make sure it's a global standard on environmental. That would have came out so much better, so much more for all the green people.
Even that, I still would have said, man. You know, either way, it's still, again, it's my money that you just right. voted to take my money to give to.
Right.
It's going to end up in China. It's for developing nations, and according to the world, China is still a developing nation. So the people who are the worst offenders of this are actually going to get our money again. And again, it goes around in this circle when we're talking about corruption and greed and money in politics. Is, again, Joe Biden's son, how much money did he make from the companies in China? Millions for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right. You can't tell me that not like the biggest crime family in the world. And now we're going to fund them, like they're going to end up getting more money. It just it blows my mind.
It does mine too. But my thing is more the verbiage that you come out with, because this is not just something. It's like we talk about this every now and then. Like, what idiot was he not watching the teleprompter? You know, when Biden's giving speeches, you know what I mean? That's the same version that comes out of that White House press secretary and every other thing in the news. And it's like, you guys not proofread this? Is that who does this? Because to me, it's like you just want to dig yourself in the hole. I don't want to get out. I like it down here in the mud with people shitting on me. I'm good. I just don't understand why they would not try to use better verbiage. And that's what we're supposed to, our kids are coming up in this young age political system. I don't know, man. I think we're in some serious trouble. Dude.
I mean, again, I don't know. I'm all for the whole, let's make some clean energy, but you got to do it all in. And on top of that, it still is the bottom line for me. I don't care what you call it. You're still taking our money. I didn't vote for it. I don't owe anybody anything for that, No,
so, but that's the way to make it. And once you do it and you phrase it that way, that's what helps.
You put people feeling guilty or something. I don't know if that's the point, but
you just hammer in more divide. This Biden, he campaigned on unification, bringing this country together. I'm sorry. I think he split it up just as much as Trump. And then you got Trump coming back in too with that. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's a whole nother segment.
Yeah. Here we go again. How's that gonna go? I don't know, but
that's gonna be a mess. I don't know.
There's gotta be a way that they gotta be more fiscally responsible with our dollars. Because you're right.
Yeah, I mean, again, with 31 trillion in debt.
Fix it here. Yeah. Fix it to the north and south of us.
Okay. All right, Senate Republicans, two of them seeking information about Hunter Biden's activities overseas. They've sent a letter to the Secret Service director, and they want to know what's up. In that letter, they claim the documents hid names and other information contained in email conversations that regard Hunter Biden when he was overseas. In question is, in part, a side trip to Kazakhstan from 2014, and there are others as well. Wisconsin Republican Ron Johnson, Republican Homeland Security Committee. Sir, good morning to you. You and Chuck Grassley are on this. Specifically, sir, just in a general way, what are you looking for? What do you think happened? And let's go from there.
Well, good morning, Bill. First of all, you have to understand, this is just continuation of our investigation to Hunter Biden that literally started years ago. The agencies, in this case, the Secret Service, lack such transparency. They're hiding something. Here's an example. We finally, after literally years of dickering back and forth with them, we finally got 259 pages of documents over his 5.5 years of Secret Service protectee status. This is what we got. So I don't have X-ray vision. I can't read through the black ink. So they're completely
didn't give them shit.
Not being transparent with Congress, with the American public. And so that just raises my suspicion. All we were trying to figure out is, to what extent does he have financial foreign entanglements that could represent a national security risk to America? Remember, Tony Bobulinski said that Joe Biden was compromised. So again, we've been trying to uncover this for years, and this is the kind of crap we get from the Secret Service. It's disgusting. It's unacceptable.
Just to remind viewers that this is when Joe Biden was the vice president with Barack Obama. What you're alleging, it seems like, is a cover-up on behalf of the Secret Service. Why would they do that?
Yes. I mean, he was a protectee from January 2009 through July of 2014. They omitted 3 years from the production, 2010, 2011, 2012. I don't know why they did that, because we get this. They could have given us this on those years as well. So again, it's baffling. I have no explanation for it. All I know is my antenna are tingling. It raises my level of suspicion. They are obviously covering something up, and they've been doing so for a number of years.
You wonder why the Secret Service, if you're right about that, will put its reputation on the line. Let's see where that goes.
Yeah, I mean, they knew he was doing some shady stuff. Again, it's just another situation where you're never going to know the truth anyway. And that's what makes me sick. It's disgusting. That's all they are. Is one corrupt story after another.
All right, boys. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back right after this break from the rabbit hole. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be right back. Hey, welcome back to the rabbit hole, and Mr. D right on time.
Always.
So we're going to continue on, the Biden situation, and um, by the way, they didn't mention in that video, but he had gotten somewhat up to like $31 million, and from China and various other companies or whatever, through his daddy's help and all of that stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, look, you got CBS coming out. What was it, a few days ago? Saying how the Biden laptop is legitimate now, where during all of that hiding the Hunter files, as I call them, they were hell bent on saying, the laptop isn't, on the up and up, and then they come back out now and say, oh yeah, the laptop, everything that's in it is legitimate and all of that shit like that. So, D,
Are you ready to get your firing squad lined up?
well, here
Yes,
we go.
sir.
Uh,
Let's go.
no, I'm saying for Hunter Biden. Blaze,
Yeah.
you're gonna put a bullet to his head.
Not yet. Got to see what's going on. They've hid all of this information long enough, but it's going to come out now. It's going to come out now. Him and so far it's Millie. Millie's there, and we'll see if we have to throw Hunter Biden up there with them.
What's your gut telling you, Blaze?
Oh, the kid's fucking guilty as sin.
So
Guilty
what do you
as
think?
sin. And he dropped the ball. He probably could have got away with it, but he was so fucking cracked up. You know what I mean? That he probably called some of his handlers late at night. Hey man, how about throwing another million in that pot, bro? I don't know, but the kid's a tool.
You know, yeah, but you know something, man. I was just bullshitting, leading you on to that, but you made me think. So you got a son that's dealing with China and Ukraine folks, getting all this kind of money. He's a crackhead, and you're his dad. You think you're gonna let him play with his bank account by himself?
Hell no.
No.
Blaze,
Hell no.
Blaze. No, I'm serious. No, let's look at the little pity facts, man. That usually brings out the sinner in the crime. Who's watching all this guy's money, man? Don't tell me it's him.
No, it's not him.
No.
Especially
No,
when they know he's out of control the way he is.
Yeah. The same guy that's watching Hunter's money is probably watching Joe's.
At the same time, he's got to make sure he gives 10% to the big guy, so the big guy has to know how much money he has so he can take 10%.
Right.
Yeah. You're right.
No, nobody remembers that?
Yeah, no, that's how it works.
10% for the big
Yeah,
guy.
if you ain't smart enough to know you robbing him, well, then you just keep robbing him.
Yeah,
exactly. Mr. Jim, you hit a point, man. That the 10%, the number. Watch the big news medias. They won't make mention of the 10%. They will wash that away. Talk about the laptop. How Biden's messed up.
Don't look over here.
Yeah, watch. Let's just sit back and watch that. I think Joe Biden is one of the nastiest persons in Washington D.C. If you ask me, and his sole job with the Obama administration as a vice president was of foreign affairs. Foreign affairs.
Yeah. You get shake a lot of hands when you're doing that job.
Oh yeah, he greased a lot of wheels, and they got greased back. That dude is thicker than dog shit. But here's what's really gonna happen with the Hunter Biden deal. I mean, they're gonna say he went to jail. Daddy's gonna pardon him if Daddy doesn't win re-election. So we talked about this before. What Hunter's gonna do some 6 years at most at some cush resort style prison, where he's playing golf and he's eating caviar and doing whatever the hell he wants to do. And then what does that do for us, though, the common people of America? I don't really understand what that does for us. You wasted all this time and energy, and are you gonna change policies? Is there gonna be tighter rules? Is there gonna be more transparency? that everybody can see that's required of people at the presidential level with their families? I mean, I you know what I mean? What's this?
No, because Biden is acting like what you'd call a king, man.
Yeah.
A king gets all these monetary awards and taxes his people and all this other good
Yeah.
shit. That's what Biden does. He taxes his people.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Man, I just want to say this, Jim, before we go on another subject, is Trump is gonna get President Biden reelected, and I'm gonna just give you a simple scenario. The Republican Party's not gonna pick him up, and he's gonna Ross Perot the Republican nominee.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with you, man. I don't think I really
But
don't.
that's sad, man.
Yeah, it sucks actually what it really does, because it I don't know. Again, I'm an independent, honestly. I mean, I lean more to the right, and that's only because it really is only because I can't agree with like one policy that the Democrats have. I mean, really, everything they have is generally it's going to cost me money, or it's going to take away something that I like. You know what I mean? One way or the other, it's going to cost me more to live. Like, there's no good parts in it to me.
You don't have the Democrats of the 20th century anymore, man.
Yeah,
that
no,
believed in them
yeah.
values that you hold up.
It is, and it's incredible to me that it's gone as far that left as it has. I mean, again, I'm pretty, I think, liberal with most social issues and stuff. I don't care about a lot of things. My biggest thing is, again, is me being free means I can be free from you. I don't owe you anything, and you're not going to take it from me. You can do whatever you want with and who you want, as long as it doesn't burden me. You know what I'm saying?
But
yeah, Donnie.
No, I say, before I forget, good evening, Mr. Nicholas Parsons over there. I didn't say good evening earlier, but that's our own fault. That's our own fault with the way the policies and stuff are right now, because we've kind of set this theme up of where if I don't have, then you do have, but you're supposed to give it to me just because I don't have, because it's an equality thing. No,
yeah, that's not right.
no.
I guess that's the point. That's what they're like. All of their policies like seem to root from or grow from. Those are the roots of all their policies. So that's what I meant to say. It's everything they want to do somehow costs me money, and I'm not voting for it. You just somehow get to tell me that that's what you're going to do. Again, like all of these things we were just talking about that cost millions and billions of dollars. It comes out of our pockets, and I don't get a say in that.
No, because some of it's written in executive what is that? Executive
orders.
Executive orders. Yeah. He writes even executive orders, and it's like, even though, because the Democrats had control of both houses, though, it went back to go get voted on it. We probably don't know it did.
Well, that's my point. Again, this $1 billion.
And they can just funnel it right back into everybody's, and it's a big, like Jim's saying, a big circle. The money, that's where the money goes.
Yeah, it never goes anywhere. It leaves and then comes right back, just through different channels.
How do you end that cycle, though? That's the problem.
I don't know. That's my question. We got to
figure out how to end that cycle. Because that is what's going to just ruin us as an economy. That's in that cycles we talked about, the Titler cycles. That's the same thing we're going on right now. It just destroys the economy, the greed.
Yeah, every time. I mean, the only way you could do that is just you'd have to basically. I don't know. I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, I don't.
Either that, or you'd have to maybe.
200 years, man. How you gonna figure it out now?
You'd have maybe limiting the amount of funds that can be donated, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's this is the cap, no matter where it comes from. And that way you can't be bribed, because you can't take the money. I mean, again, it's always ways people are going to hide it and do things under the radar, I'm sure. But if you can somehow cap that, the other thing we were just talking about with Biden's son there, Hunter, in China and all this other stuff. You ever notice how I said this in I think it was on the break or before we got into it. All of these protests, like in Ukraine, right? Oh, we're all for the little guy. We always back the little guy. The Black Lives Matter. Oh, they're oppressed people, or it's racism. All these things they stand up for. Democracy. I mean, that's one of the things they literally championed, that we were going to ruin democracy, right? That's their biggest thing. Yet you have over in China right now, there's like massive protests because they're locking up half their population in freaking basically shipping containers. And it's like a modern day freaking, what is it, Tiananmen Square or whatever it was. People are getting killed. They're beating them with bats. And you know what? Joe Biden? Yeah, silence. Not one of the Democrats is standing up for them, right? Why is that? Anybody know? Because he's in their back pocket.
Yeah.
They don't speak out against China because they're in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like that should
Yes,
be,
sir.
They're all over Ukraine. The little guy, they spin that narrative, keep that war going. But nope, China can do no wrong. We're giving them $1 billion. Like what are you doing?
And here's another organization that's residing there, the NBA.
Yep. It's all the sports.
That one, LeBron is so he's a hypocrite, but he's all this BLM stuff. But when it comes to the Uyghurs,
through China, protesters take to the streets against the country's draconian lockdown and strict zero COVID policies, which are nonsensical. The Chinese people seemingly reaching their breaking point and publicly calling for leader Xi Jinping to step down in an act of defiance against the Communist Party. Our next guest survived Mao Zedong's brutal communist regime, is here to weigh in. Joining us now is Van Fleet. Thank you so much for joining us. First off, how big a deal are these protests?
It is a huge deal. It is a huge deal because for the first time since 1989, student pro-democracy movement in Tiananmen Square, Chinese people are demanding
why?
They are locked down. They're demanding political changes. We hear slogans that we haven't heard for a long time. Down with CCP, down with Xi Jinping. And they want democracy, not an emperor. And they want freedom of speech and
so how long do you think it's going to take before China moves in with the army?
And one thing we heard over and over
2 minutes,
and gave me death.
So evidently the zero COVID policy had this country ready to blow anyway. But they said a fire started in a 15th floor of an apartment building where it seems these people burned alive because they weren't allowed out because of the COVID restrictions. Then the next thing you know, there's a large group of protesters in Shanghai. They're on college campuses. They're also holding up blank sheets of paper as a protest symbol against censorship. So you get a
Yeah, so all of that's going on. Not one Democrat says anything about
not a word
democracy. Not one NBA player. You don't see Colin Kaepernick, who takes knees for people who you know what I mean, but you can't stand up and say a word about this. Hollywood, nothing. It's silent, crickets, right? Why is that?
Well, because the Democratic leadership and most of the other Republicans, they know if they were to start that kind of verbiage and get all up, because like you said, they were all about Taiwan and how we were extending democracy and our pledge to democracy with Taiwan and showing our support. You stirred up all that crazy madness. Now, where you at now? Yeah, because you're a big hypocrite because you really know you cannot support and defend against China right now. That's what that tells me. I think they honestly believe we would lose more and we may actually lose a war with China. Maybe they're afraid.
I don't.
But then again,
I don't know. It blows my mind. Like if it was anywhere else in the world, it seems like they'd be all over it. But nobody says anything. It's these are people who are.
When it comes to China,
because they know.
We'll just shut our mouth. Yeah,
but they know they can crush us.
I want to hear what
No, Jim, and this goes back to you, man. When you talked about how the Chinese select their people, they don't select them on eye squint or long fingernails. No, I'm being honest. They
Yeah, no, it's not a popularity
no,
contest.
they give it to the Einsteins. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
If you
All
ain't at a certain
around.
level, you ain't serving.
And
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think maybe the standards for the House of Representatives and the Senate is kind of low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we as people dictate that.
You're talking in our country?
Yes, yes. Are the standards?
Dude, we got a guy who just had a stroke who
Thank you.
can't complete a sentence properly. Sounds like he's got a mouthful of potato salad, along with the guy who's actually running the country. So I think it goes all the way right up to line. You know what I mean? Like look at the people we're freaking like electing, like the crazy brainless people we elect. I don't know. Where are we? I don't. You know what I think
Because
it
the
is
fucking
too.
majority
It's
of people today is stupid. It's already fucking safe.
well, yeah, but at the same time, there's plenty of brilliant people in the world, dude. They just don't want their lives dragged through, some
Manure.
social media shit pile just because they said a racial slur 20 years ago. You know what I mean? That's what it's turned out to be. We can't even get good people because they're like, fuck, I ain't doing that. You crazy? I'm going to put my whole life out to people. I'm going to be slandered. I'm going to have op-eds run against me. They're going to be digging up things I did in 5th grade, for Christ's sake. If they can't find anything, they will find something. Or all they have to do now, they just make it up and go, oops, sorry, we were wrong. I mean, look what they did to, I don't even know. Brett Kavanaugh was one of those guys where he was found not guilty in the end. It's just, and again, that's kind of a sensitive topic there for most people, but it's the truth. They had their chance. You should have said something when you had the chance, and you dragged this guy through the mud, beat him up, and it's just most people don't want to deal with that. Why would he do that when if you got a solid job, you could be working at a big company, you're going to go put your whole family through that? It's nuts. I wouldn't do it.
But
there's good reasons why too. But
so all of us here on the panel, are we the leftover from the Industrial Revolution? Because the evolution we're going into is Blaze, you messed me up. Throw me that video. Shit. Technology.
People in its own borders. And we saw the Black Lives Matter movement over the past few years.
My apologies on the mispronunciation of your country. That being said, there's discrimination everywhere you go. One thing that I've learned, especially from living abroad in the past years and having to fit in different cultures, is that in the U.S. we're continuing to make progress every single day. I grew up in a white family with obviously an African American heritage and background as well. So I had a little bit of different cultures, and I was very, very easily able to assimilate in different cultures. So not everyone has that ease and the ability to do that, and obviously it takes longer to understand. And through education, I think it's super important. Like you just educated me now on the pronunciation of your country. So it's a process. I think as long as you see progress, that's the most important thing.
what was that for?
Oh well, yeah. What the heck, Blaze? Why don't you tell me, hey D, hold your thought. I'm gonna go to the video. Well, I just wanted to shake the pot a little. Is that gentleman? He was from the USA World Soccer Team. He's the captain, Tyler Adams. Everybody can see he's African American descent, white mama, all this bullshit. But I don't think what you didn't catch at the beginning, it was an asshole Iran reporter asking him these questions.
Yes.
And what did you see the video already?
I saw parts of it, and that dude was just he was just poking at the bear and trying to antagonize him into some kind of conflict or conflictive conversation, and it was just like he caught onto it so fast, and he's just like, you know what, I'm not even going to fall in your bullshit right now. But that's the way the media kind of does things now sometimes, if you look, because monetized being in Metici. If you know what I'm talking about, Dean, it's a nosy son of a bitch.
Yes.
We've monetized that via paparazzi and all this other stuff, right? So now it's going into like reporting and it's starting to be kind of like a norm. Just somebody's gonna be, pokey. They're just gonna want to poke the bear, and you just got to get used to that. If you're some kind of athlete or successful person that's got to stand in front of a camera, you're gonna have to get used to that.
Yeah, it's all that whole again. It's the culture, the mindset that social media and being able to be behind a keyboard without actually being in someone's face. That's where it's brought us all. I mean, that's the kind of the general attitude for most things today. It's always
right.
Again, that's why I go on that Good News Network, because it's like no matter what you turn, it's all bad news. It's always what's the worst part of this person we can talk about. What's the worst case scenario we can pull out of this? It's never the good side of things, and that's what they've done with politics. And I guess that was my base point is, God forbid you said something you shouldn't have 10 years ago, and now you want to run the be freaking dog catcher of your town. You know what I mean? You're gonna have your life ruined, and who wants to deal with that when you can just not, and I think that also though comes into play with that whole Tytler cycle is that's what forces people to become complacent, apathetic, and turn away from it because they don't want to go through that. I mean, not that happened in other societies, because obviously we didn't have this back then, in other times, so to speak. But right now, that's a big turn off for a lot of people. I bet that really just, again, intelligent people who could probably make some really good change that just don't want to get themselves involved in that kind of stuff.
No. But
Blaze, you got a LeBron bid?
LeBron James speaking out for the first time about the battle between the NBA and China, taking on Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey, whose tweet supporting anti-government protests in Hong Kong set off a firestorm between the country and the league.
I don't want to get into a feud with Daryl, Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke.
James not commenting about any political tension in the region, instead focusing on how Morey's comments damaged the NBA's relationship with the country.
So many people could have been harmed, not only financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we tweet and we say and what we do.
The backlash immediate, with even U.S. senators weighing in. Republican Ben Sasse of Nebraska tweeting, "You're parroting communist propaganda. China is running torture camps, and you know it." James taking to Twitter later in the day to offer a clarification, saying, "My team in this league just went through a difficult week. I think people need to understand what a tweet or statement can do to others. Could have waited a week to send it."
This is the #1 reason why we've created this platform, to be able to have moments like this.
James is no stranger to weighing in on politics. Earlier this month, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed the Fair Pay to Play Act on James' HBO show The Shop. The four-time MVP also not afraid to take on President Trump.
The #1 job in America, the point of person, is someone who doesn't understand the people and really don't give a about the people.
But now it's James under fire for his take on this hot-button issue.
Yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too.
Ron, a lot of people, of course, are pointing to the NBA's financial ties to China. How deep are they, and is there...
Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller.
Yeah. Again, don't open your mouth. Status quo. Don't, I don't know. It's crazy. What are your thoughts, Steve?
No,
go ahead, Dennis.
No, I'm stuck. What was Gavin Newsom signing? Fair play?
Fair pay. Yeah, fair pay to play or something like that.
Okay.
What is that for? Pro athletes?
I don't know.
I know what that is. That's probably a tax exemption, a state tax exemption for the Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles Clippers. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm pretty
Probably
sure
so.
that's what that is.
Well,
I honestly don't. I
Wow.
didn't see that. So
That's why I was in like a
Fair
little
to Play Act, California.
lay
You
down.
know.
James acts like a fucking junkie, accusing people of doing things he does himself.
Okay,
That
this
one's
is
from
what.
Crispy Farco.
Yeah, but the Fair Pay to Play Act was allow collegiate athletes to acquire endorsements and sponsorships while still maintaining.
Okay.
That's okay.
College.
That's fine. They can basically get paid now for their name and using their name. So the school doesn't make all the money off them no more. That's all that is.
Okay.
Now they can actually make money.
They still get a free education.
No, not all of them. The only
No.
two sports in college that really give you a full ride are football and basketball because
That's
they make
exactly
money.
what.
A
Yes.
lot of the other ones, them kids are paying to go to school. They're getting in debt. They're taking loans, even though they got scholarships,
Hey, they're
So that's
taking
bullshit.
it.
That's
They're taking
bullshit.
like you would say, Donnie. They're taking an investment on themselves.
Right. They are.
That's
They
what
got
they're
to
doing.
invest in themselves to make an education, but they're getting it cheaper. They're getting some high quality education, though, mind be it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're not
Of
getting,
course.
some
Of
of them
course.
people, depending on where
But
you're at, some of them getting some very high level education. So,
but if John Havlicek is going to Boston University and the tuition is $25,000 a year and he's claiming $75,000 on endorsements, and then here I got Mary Lou Rottencrotch working at a restaurant trying to make her tuition, living in the dorm, and that's all good.
that's
And Mary Lou writes his essays.
well, then Mary Lou needs to make sure she's charging him more or something. But that's kind of the way life is, and that's the way school is. Let's understand, this is where that part
Deceptive,
comes out about
false.
college is not about getting an education as much as it is about a business. College
So
education is a business. It is not like high school where you're being taught something. It is a
so
business at this point.
would that be a false representation?
Maybe. I don't know. Some say it is. That's why they
Deceptive
climb it so much
conduct?
about. But that's why they still got all the people out there crying and moaning, and you got all these lawsuits now about these so-called schools, and people are getting into the weeds, getting into the paperwork, and finding out. Yeah, that's why like ITTT and some of these tech schools are having to shut down because they did false shit. So is it really at this point? That's where it comes back to that thing about, do I need to go to college and get in debt? And here's Biden talking about how he's going to forgive student loan forgiveness, and he's going to give you guys, these people, 10 grand of taxpayer money, which he never asked me for. You made that
Read
choice.
your message board, Donnie. Read that message board.
Supposed to.
This one comes
Not
from
to yourself.
Heather
Okay.
LCP.
Hey, so I'm glad that somebody gave you $20,000. So, hey, I got a question for Heather Elise P. The $2,500 I paid for the Parent Plus loan that I paid off during the pandemic, that I took advantage of the 0%, do I get my $2,500 back? Where can I file my claim, please? Let me know. I'd like my money back too.
And that was it from the
I don't
money,
know.
man.
I must have missed the whole point of that video. I guess.
LeBron.
I was actually
LeBron
surprised you
doing.
finished a thought without.
But
yeah,
I'm sorry. I just I don't understand what is LeBron wanting. Is this political now? Is he trying to sway into politics? Is this how he is this how he gets started? Because he wants to go after some pretty high level people. So what's his ambition?
The NBA's big, but I don't think it's that big, Donnie.
Oh,
you
but
think he'd put his
come
feet
on,
in the
bro.
water?
Bro, look what
I'm listening.
Look what Magic and Larry did for the game in the late 70s, early 80s. They saved the NBA. This is what LeBron
they did.
is doing right now. He is helping globalize the game. This
Yeah,
is what
they get quite a bit of money from China.
And that's why the NBA is it's almost making as much money as the NFL right now globally. It is dominating the global market. So they got nothing but
the
time to
NFL
expand
is
right now.
Yeah, that's why the NFL
And
is trying to get in Europe real bad.
LeBron is going to be getting as a spokesperson. He is probably that's a good choice. You know what I mean? Because he does good with that.
But basketball will grow globally. But the NFL, I mean, look at us here. We're in the World Cup, and nobody mentioned that we beat Iran today at 1-0. And that was the kid in his pre media. You know, soccer's not a big thing here in Europe. NFL, football, they look at it as a stupid sport.
Yeah.
Right. Well, anyways, but
and soccer is growing here in the United States.
Yeah, we're starting to build some soccer fields. Yeah, sure.
Okay, but my point is what?
No, what?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this one?
Yeah, move on.
Yeah, what do you guys? That's why I was like, wonder what the thing was, Blaze, because I just don't understand what you want to get politics into sports because that's happening all over the place right now.
Well, it's been happening
Look at
for a
what's
while.
going on in the World Cup.
Well, I think the question was presented to you, Donald, from D was, do you think that LeBron wants to put his feet in the water?
In the water of what?
Politics.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. I think that's what he's kind of like, let me put my feet in the water. Let me see how it works. And he's aligning himself with politicians. You think LeBron's over there on that show talking to that Newsom governor for shits and giggles? No, there's purpose to that because he's educating himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
a smart move. Come on, man.
I like how he throws a dig at Trump and just, slide that one right in there too while I'm at it. You know, he'd probably beat Trump.
I'd kind of be more like a fucking Michael Jordan, would just sit back, shut my mouth, who gives a shit about politics, and still making millions of dollars a year.
Comments like that just motivate him more to do what he's doing.
So, I'm just saying,
No, but that's what happens. He said that in the past.
Because unless he's politically motivated for other things, he's certainly not going to make that kind of cake as a politician. So,
yeah, there's got to be purpose behind that. I think he's dipping his toes in the water.
Exactly.
He's maybe thinking about, I ain't got but about a few more years in the league, and then it's not going to be there. I need to move on, and I need to be healthy enough to be walking and doing everything. And when I'm out there campaigning and I'm talking to people and I'm out there kissing the babies and, shaking the hands.
I think he'll beat Trump.
Yeah.
LeBron?
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Oh, yeah. I think he would.
Fucking silly.
Yeah.
I think he'd crush Trump.
Just want to see what Blaze thinks about that. What do you think, Blaze? No?
I just fucking said I think you're silly. That's what I just said.
Why?
I think you're silly if you think Trump's going to win.
I ain't fucking saying Trump's gonna win. I'd rather have somebody else fucking run. But if it's Trump against Biden, yeah, Trump's gonna win.
I don't know.
So I mean, come on.
I don't know. Oh my
God. We got a couple responding back.
It could be one of those people. I'll take the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, well, it would be. Again, I mean, it's one party of bad ideas and a party of worse ideas at this point.
I don't know. I don't think that he did anything bad for the country whatsoever, besides being a pompous ass and fucking running his mouth when he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
otherwise than that, I could fucking produce like 100 people that would say that he did shit that helped him out. So.
I didn't say that. I'm saying now, though, it's time to just.
But if I'm agreeing with you and I'm saying,
well,
yeah, so they should have just left him alone and let him run for 4 more years. 4 more years, you never had to hear from him ever again. But they come and they put this thing in there. I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
but to be silly and LeBron James will beat Trump. Come on now.
I don't know.
Just silly, man.
That's the thing.
A lot of people hate Trump, dude.
Exactly. That's why I think LeBron James could probably actually have a chance against Trump because so many people cannot stand that man.
Put it this way.
And you know what
All
they'd
right,
be like?
hold on.
You know, LeBron James is halfway worth a decent. Like, I'd take a chance. Why not?
All right. Yeah. Here's your choice, right? Joe Biden, LeBron James, and Trump. I bet you every Democrat would vote for LeBron James before they ain't gonna vote for Trump, dude.
You're right. You're probably right. 2/3 of them Democrats.
All
would be on
81
LeBron.
million of them.
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Twice.
Joe Biden did the best thing that anybody could do, but nobody caught it when he sat there on national television and told a black guy that if you didn't vote for him, you wasn't black, and still got voted into the presidency of the United fucking States. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my point. Okay,
Yeah.
so if that happened, do you think and they didn't let Trump win,
You
do
know?
you think they would just do it again? I mean, if you believe that, that's fine, but whatever.
But how
Either
can
way,
you?
dude, the amount of hatred for that man, I think, runs a lot deeper than
I don't think it's so
than you
much
think.
as I don't think it's so much as hatred. It is his fucking fear. It's from
Right, well, my point
politicians,
is,
I should say.
Dude, I have a dog that is more capable of the job that Joe Biden is doing than Joe Biden is doing. So LeBron James would be a step up from Biden, is what I'm trying to say. So if
Exactly.
you ran Biden and LeBron,
Okay, if
people are
we're
just
just
gonna go,
talking Biden and LeBron, yeah, I'm with you all day long.
no, I'm talking LeBron and Trump.
You know what I mean?
Are you, dude? Let's talk about Kermit the Frog and Trump.
You could if you want to.
Kermit
but
the Frog's a Democrat. He's going to
you
win.
could if you want to, but again, you're being silly. That's all I'm saying.
Blaze.
No, I'm not,
No,
dude. I'm not.
Blaze.
Dude, look at what we freaking propped up in. Dude, just look at this guy.
Blaze.
I'm serious. You guys are laughing, but I'm like dead serious, dude. Joe Biden can't even like speak a clear sentence. And they freaking not like he is the president right now.
Exactly.
LeBron James is way smarter than Trump. I mean,
yeah, but listen to the levels that we're talking about presidency. Joe Biden, LeBron James, and fucking Donald fucking Trump.
I know that's my point. You could run a fucking.
That's pretty fucking.
You could run
sad.
a lamp. You could run a lamp. And he would beat him, dude. As long as the lamp is a Democrat, he's going to win.
You'd have Biden holding the bulb. You'd have LeBron James spinning the motor and Trump in the back with the whip. You know what I mean? Like
No,
that.
not even.
I fucking
LeBron James is so much better in front of the camera than Biden. There are people that vote for LeBron James on that fact alone. I might be one of them. Be like, at least he would get up in front of the camera and bumble around and stumble and repeat himself and act like a fool. Everybody's wondering what he said. You know what I mean?
Just the options alone are
I'll
laughable.
take LeBron in front of the camera. At least he can complete a sentence. He can make
And that's
a
what we were
story.
just talking about.
You know?
This is
I'll
where,
take that.
I mean, seriously, dude, Biden's like 80 years old, and Trump's right behind him, right? He's in his upper 70s.
76.
Yeah, this is the best we can come up with in this country. Like, what is going on, man?
I'd take Obama
We've lost-
again.
I mean, he kind of almost, yeah.
Hey, say what you want about Obama, but he could get some stuff done. He could talk to both sides. And he's still there today. Even like that dude, when that dude was heckling him out there, he was so calm about that. And he's like, okay, sir, yeah, okay. And this is why we have what we have today. Okay,
Listen,
you know, he was nice and calm.
For me, it was
perfect.
As soon as Obama started palling around with the Clintons, that was it for me. You know what I mean? I'm like, here it didn't, and that's when all the fucking, all the bullshit. His first term, he never got no controversies in his 4 years or nothing like that. He pals around with the Clintons, he gets into trouble.
That's true.
Well,
that's true, Blaze.
But that's about everybody
true.
that pals around with the Clintons. You get in trouble.
Come on now, think about it. You got fucking Benghazi with her. You had the Whitewater fucking bullshit. I mean, come on.
Okay, so what about her? What are you gonna do to her?
They're
Nobody's
no
gonna
good.
do squat. We all know she should be in jail. We all know this.
Yeah, that was some shit.
But nothing's gonna happen to her. You get too far into the Clintons and you cease to exist.
Exactly. You
You
disappear.
end up suicided.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are
You
so-
end up
I mean,
suicided. Exactly.
Right. You end up like that. When she can blow off Congress, the CIA, every agency, any government, memorandum or requirement that says she has to report to go, get debriefed. She can blow that off at her will, and nothing happens. Ain't shit ever gonna happen to that woman. Cause you tell me somebody else that took a subpoena from Congress and basically said, "It's on my way. I'm not coming." Tell me somebody else that's done that.
Unc,
Yeah.
Blaze,
Come
you're
on.
up. What do you got to say?
Fill me in real quick.
I just said about Hillary Clinton. What's going to happen to her? She basically told Congress,
She should be in
on
jail.
my way, not coming. Nothing's happened to her. Nothing.
No.
Who else can blow off Congress like that and not get away with it? Hell, they spent 2 years investigating Trump for doing it. And
Hey,
he was a sitting
all
president.
all I know
Come on
is the
now.
Obamas from knowing the Clintons have a $47 million fucking mansion on Nantucket Island. So, I mean, not Nantucket, where they drop the immigrants off.
Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's, thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wasn't it Block? Oh yeah, it was Martha's Vineyard. I'm sorry.
Right.
That was a great day. That was a great day.
Yeah, it was.
that was like the best thing I've ever heard in my life. Really, it was. It was fantastic.
Was the radio pundits there going crazy?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. There's a couple of different guys I listened to. One of them's Jeff Kuna, and this other guy Howie Carr, and they had a field day with that boy. I mean, hey, again, it just goes to show the hypocrisy of them. They'll send them to anybody else's neighborhood, but God forbid you put them in theirs.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That was.
They were
honestly,
gone. They were gone within 24 hours. They were gone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Gone.
Didn't even get a chance to trim anybody's hedges.
Exactly. Exactly. I said that on the show. Nobody came out with a fucking table with applications. You know what I mean? Line up.
Nothing.
You know?
No.
Come on. You're
At
gonna
first,
tell
I
me.
did,
You know how many?
Oh, the food must be here.
Yeah.
Hey, what is this guy doing?
You know how many beautiful? You know how many
Who's this
beautiful
guy? Yeah.
mansions are out there? You're gonna tell me you couldn't hire 5 of those people? Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a break.
I don't know. It was just great.
And
that was a day where I was like, if there's anybody else who can possibly, get a nomination, it would have been it's DeSantis. I don't know.
Hey.
I really still just think he should run myself, but
Hey,
I don't know. Maybe it's too early for that.
This is way left field, but try to follow me. Them 2 white couples that came out. The husband had like a fucking an M4 or whatever, and the wife had like a handgun. When they
St.
were
Louis.
protesting back
St.
then.
Louis.
Yeah.
Louis.
Whatever happened to those folks? Anybody know? Did they get
Which one are you
convicted?
talking about?
Huh?
No, they didn't get evicted, but they had their weapons confiscated.
Right. And they had to pay a fine because that
Yes.
was like a rich neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was
You're
just,
talking about the ones that were like waving the
Yes, yes.
waving the guns around.
yes.
Yeah.
But
All right.
That was with the Black Lives Matter thing, right?
So rich
Yes.
people, nothing happened to them. All right, I got it.
Yeah.
I guess the point I was trying to make there, but didn't
Yeah,
work out.
I don't know. That was a good day though. Sorry, I had to go back to that.
We don't usually hang out in right field.
And that's another.
Blaze.
Hold on. Let me. Let me
Right,
put
so
this
what
up
are-
there. Here's another one from Heather P. What about Maxwell? You know what I mean? Epstein's henchman, the broad there. Is anything new come up about them?
Yeah, I think she got jailed for 25 years. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
but-
got sentenced.
All right,
But
She's still alive though.
yeah,
Yeah.
one,
She's still
she's still
alive,
alive
and-
too. Where's the book? There was a book.
Yeah, but they're not giving her. The government's not giving her. I think she's wanting to get fully pardoned, or something.
Yeah, because she
And,
said she got some kind of book, right? She got some names.
Yeah, and she's not getting what she wants, so she's not letting go of the information supposedly. But there's been chatter that there's more to it, and there's like political figures, and it
Oh,
may
yeah.
be the Bidens
Oh, yeah.
and the Clintons, and
Oh,
some
yeah.
dirty information coming out that
Yeah.
she really knows, and she's using that for security as well, because she knows if she goes somewhere a general pop federal prison, she would make it through a night.
No.
She'd get shaked in a minute. Somebody do it just to say they did it to earn some credit. You know what I
Some
mean?
credit, right? Yep.
So yeah, she's using that for some leverage too. So is she lying? Is she not lying? Only time will tell. How much is the government?
And if she survives.
Back in my childhood days, Blaze used to do that for me. What Maxwell did for Epstein. Blaze
What's
would
that?
find
Cover your ass?
No, find me girl.
Fucking
That's
asshole.
fucking right.
All right.
I'm surprised she's still alive, man. No matter what. I mean, Epstein was in maximum security too, wasn't he? Or was he just?
He was in that. Was it Rikers Island?
Yeah, he
Prison?
was in. Yeah, he was in
confinement at Rikers, yeah.
Yeah, he was in solitary confinement, and they still found a way to fucking kill him.
Yeah, and supposedly the guards. There was some shit with the guards that they said they checked, but they didn't check, and on the something, and they said something about the logs.
And it went away.
Or something, yeah.
And it just went away. Bye-bye.
Donnie,
Hey guys,
same
listen,
thing-
guys,
same
we
thing
gotta
as
take a
you.
quick little break here. So, ladies and gentlemen, look, we're gonna get back to all of this fun stuff we're talking about, and stick around for more of the rabbit hole. We'll be back in exactly 3 minutes. Hey, thanks for sticking around for more of the rabbit hole with yours truly, Mr. Blaze Man, Mr. Jim, Mr. D, and Mr. Donald. Donnie, leave that kid alone. So
nice.
That lollipop back in.
Yeah. So
Is that what you guys say when I make it back in time?
yeah. So oath keepers, Jim.
Yeah, no, I just I know we were mentioning that before, and you know that was the leader there. What's his name? Stuart Rhodes.
Rhodes.
That's what
Rhodes.
Rhodes. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Stuart Rhodes. They convicted him, and you know, a lot of the evidence they said they didn't really have an overwhelming amount of evidence against him, but they still convicted him anyway. So, what do you think is going to happen with that? You think they're going to give him like the full 20-year sentence for conspiracy, or what do you think? Was it just a show, just to tell people to make sure don't do this again? Or look what's going to happen to you. Just sit down and shut up. Like, what do you think it was all about? You think they really believe that this guy formed this big conspiracy to try to overtake the government? Or, I mean, when you look at the videos, they pretty much let these people walk in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just one dude.
They convicted him of seditious conspiracy.
Yeah. Seditious conspiracy.
Yes. Yeah,
it says
man.
It's funny, but it says it carries its concept for 20 years.
Blaze, that also qualifies him for Uncle Blaze Man shooting squad.
Really?
Yeah,
Treasonous
really? Yeah, it's treason. That's close
Treason?
to treason.
That's part of treason. They can, I believe, if they wanted to push it to maybe they could get a firing squad.
So you're saying even though
Old school.
Even though it says it in the Constitution that the people can basically uprise and fucking, overthrow their government if we feel that shit isn't fucking going too right. Now you're saying
it says that, but
huh?
I don't think it necessarily says that you're supposed to vote them out and
understand.
I don't think it says you can go run the Capitol over, but I mean I could be wrong. It definitely does not.
So why didn't the Second Amendment they allowed us to bear arms so the government couldn't get out of control and we'd have weapons to defend ourselves?
Well, yeah, I guess we were on offense. You're not supposed to go on offense, I guess.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're not supposed to go on offense. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, right. When I hear that, I think of the government taking your land back in them days because there wasn't that many people and people owned large plots of land. And damn, I'm going somewhere with this, man.
Come on, baby, you got it. Stay with it.
Yeah, no, it's just look at the Salem witch trials. You know, the Constitution was signed before then, but that's what they were doing. The government was uprising, so then people that are being accused as witches, they had all the authorization to shoot, check or hold. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're
right.
That's where I say this right here. I say
hey, D, that was a light bulb one, bro.
No, that was Elon Musk level.
And that was Elon Musk level?
It hurts, man. I got to come back down. Boom.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, shit.
Please, there is a moon.
There is a moon.
You thought that was Elon Musk level. Wow. Okay.
Go, Donnie.
What are you going to say? You going to say something, Jay Leno?
What?
You, Jay
what?
Leno.
No, this whole sedition charge? Oh, they're going to maximize this because this is a prime opportunity for the Democratic Party to go ahead and lay a hammer down and say, nope, this is where that we start getting into that socialism shit that they say doesn't happen. This is a prime time where the U.S. government can go ahead and let's put the book to these people, and then maybe we'll get people to reconsider about doing, rising up against the government and doing. That's a system of control. That's dictatorship, bro.
Yeah, that's what that Chinese lady said when she was talking to Bill Hemmer.
Yes. We had her on the show. We had that video.
If we continue to allow
this hurts.
This wow. But if we continue to allow this as a general public, they take away a little bit more each time. Every time. They promise you something nice on the other end of it. It's going to be gravy. But no, it's not gravy. It's just the KY. Why they stick it to you? That's all it
Yeah,
is.
that's all that happens.
That's all it is. So yeah, you got to be really careful, and you got to. It's getting more and more, relevant. It's easier to see now.
Yeah.
You know what pisses me off a lot about the whole thing too is, I mean, not that I want to see, civil unrest of any sort, but the fact that Trump called in the, what was it, 10 or 20,000 National Guard people, and Pelosi pretty much said no
Yes.
and didn't do it. So
Right.
she had the opportunity to have this all covered and taken care of, and everybody in that Capitol building be protected, and she chose not to. And on top of that, when you look at the difference between again, that Capitol, if you want to call it, riot, and what happened all around the nation the months leading up to that, they allowed us pretty much to walk. Not I say us, and it wasn't me. They allowed the people who were there to basically walk into that building. As a matter of fact, the only person who got shot was I think of her name, but the one protester. And then other than that, I mean, they were just walking through there like it was like taking a tour of the White House.
Yeah, security was letting them in.
Yeah, her husband was from the Attleboro area.
Yeah. So again, I mean, if that was really like a government takeover, I think it would have looked a little. You know what I mean? People wouldn't have stopped where they are. They would have been, they would have lit the place on fire, and they wouldn't have left. They would have been occupying. Remember those?
Right.
Remember those days? Occupy.
Right.
Occupying the Capitol building. There wasn't anything like that. Again, I'm
No.
sure it was. Sure, it was
That's
some crazy
once
shit,
again-
but it wasn't burning federal buildings. It wasn't
No.
trying to light police stations on fire while police
No.
were inside. It wasn't zoning off an entire city block and pretty much allowing no police, firemen, paramedics, anybody in while they burnt private businesses. It wasn't that.
Well, that's
know?
what. Why? Wait. What? When you talk about that, though, those people went to a state building. They went to a federal buildings. They were burning. They were doing nothing, no different than them. So where are them sedition charges for those people that they got on video where they were throwing cocktails, Molotov cocktails and rocks and doing all that damage? So where's their charges at? 'Cause that's the same thing to me.
It's a federal building is a federal building, right?
So this is all some bullshit. Them guys got hosed, and I don't think it got out of hand because a few people got stupid. Yeah, I got it, but they didn't do anything more than any of the other protests, like you said, around this nation. They didn't do anything different than that. So there's no way these guys are treasonous and doing all this. But
this video that we got playing up here on the top left, this is raw footage. Okay, there's no editing here whatsoever. It's complete raw footage. I mean, we're not going to be able to view it all on tonight's show, but I'm going to leave it hanging up on the left while the guys and I continue our conversation. Go ahead, Donnie.
But no, like Jim and Nipset and Demon's boy pointed out, then people were going through like it was a tourism thing. It wasn't until one or two people got stupid and somebody made a call that all of a sudden it got violent, really. So I don't.
Yeah, and again, it could have all been. I mean, not to say that Trump knew it was going to happen, and I think that's not the case. I don't believe he ever did, but I think he had an idea that something very well could have, because again, you can't go to 4 years like he did, running your mouth and saying the things you did, and not anticipate some people to be. I mean, people had a great deal of, lack of a better term, love for this dude. Like, he was like, they idolized this guy.
Right. But
he made a you know what I'm saying?
So,
I mean, he did.
So you're recognizing that there is like a Trump nation of people out there. They're not just conservative or Republicans. These are Trump followers that the Democratic Party and the Democratic media has been pushing for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you be one of those that buy into that shit too, right?
All right.
Okay,
Hold on,
wait.
dude. Do you hold on? How many
I mean,
Trump
it's just as but
2024
there's just as
flags?
many radical fucking people, Jim, on the
Yeah,
fucking Democratic side than there is fucking
absolutely.
Republicans.
I'm
All
not
right,
saying there
but you're
isn't, but you
categorying them
can't.
now. You're like, oh, these are the
No.
Trumpsters. That's not my conservatives that I believe in. It's got to
Yeah,
be the Trump cult. You know
well,
what I mean?
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying at all. No, that's not what I'm saying. All right. Well, yeah, I guess then, I wouldn't paint my house red, white, and blue with Trump letters across it, but I see it. I mean, that's dude's a little fanatical to me.
Right,
I
but
mean,
there's,
shit
but
to
there's
me.
fanatics everywhere on both sides.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not all right. That's not what I was getting at. That
Okay.
wasn't the point I was making.
But Jim, let me just interrupt real quick. But you did make a good
Go
point.
for it.
And with the birth of Trump, you do have another class, Blaze, of Republicans, and those are called the MAGA Republicans.
You think
because
so?
yeah, I know so, man.
All right, I'm listening to your argument.
No, and for the simple
that-
point, if
yeah.
Trump runs, if he goes against anybody else in the Republican Party that I think has a fair shot at Biden or whoever's going to be there, I will vote for the other person.
So would I.
Bottom line.
So would I.
Let me ask you this,
I
Blaze.
think
Since you
we
just said
asked
that, right?
question last week's show.
No.
Here's a better indication of what I'm saying. In if you, why would Trump order 20,000 National Guard troops then? You think he just did it because he felt like it, or do you think he had an idea that shit could pop off?
Was it Trump that ordered them? I'm not sure. I think it was
He requested him from Pelosi. She was in charge of security for the Capitol. If I could be wrong on that. If somebody else knows,
so
look it up correctly. But he requested National Guard, an extra presence of 10, I think, to 20,000 National Guard troops.
Right.
Because of that. I mean, and that's my point. I'm not saying that every person who likes Trump is some fanatical, crazy person. Yeah, there's extremists on both sides, just like Crispy said.
And
absolutely. But this particular year, you could feel the tension in the air. You know what I mean? And that's why he knew it was like, I got to put some more boots on the ground in case this happens. I think he knew. So my point is, if he knew,
look at the video.
How come you can't see it and look at it for what it is?
Look at the video. Case in point, the crowd is already starting to build up. Okay,
Right, but there was more to the troop request than just for security purposes. That was a political play by Trump too, because he wanted to show how he was supporting the military and America, and how he was going to say, we have a right to, support and defend the Constitution, blah, 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 right? There was a political angle to that too as well.
Well, okay.
So let's
I'll
be
buy
honest
that
with
a
that
little
too
bit.
as well.
I agree.
Yeah, well,
I agree with
and,
that. All right.
It really baffles me here, and as I'm looking at this raw footage, and I'm, Washington D.C. has got a shit ton of cops. We're talking Park Police, Capitol Police, Secret Service Police, Washington D.C. Police, the Sheriff's Patrol, everything. And you're trying to tell me none of them organizations had undercover agents in there?
In that crowd.
Right.
That didn't know about that.
That startles me, man. I thought we were better intelligent, to throw some of us
intelligence gathering.
Yeah,
But just look at the footage. Now they're fucking like on the steps. This is the steps area. And this crowd is building beyond already out of control. Okay? Look, they're trying to put gates up now because they're realizing what's going on. So
it's a little too late.
So when is Trump making this call though? Is he calling now because he's seeing something like this on a news clip and he's giving Nancy a call and saying, "Hey, look,
dude,
we should call
this was like
National
weeks
Guard,"
before.
No, because Nancy was stuck in the Capitol, and there was rumors. Her aide told her, Trump, I think he's coming down here, and she's like, "Ooh, I hope he does. I'm gonna punch him right in, whatever."
Yeah.
So no, Trump did want to come to the Capitol though. And the Secret Service said, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
And he wanted to incite them more, man. That's
You
what he
think
wanted
that's
to
why?
do.
You think so?
Yes, man. Yes, man.
I don't believe that though. I don't think Trump
Oh
ever actually
man.
wanted that to
No,
happen.
no, I don't believe that either. I don't believe this whole thing with this video with him. I've never seen it. I still till today can't find a video of Trump saying, "Go down there and do this."
You know, and these guards, Crispy
But they
Farkle,
say he said it though.
Crispy Farkle makes a couple of comments on this, and I won't lose you out. Trump 2024 America, and she put the NG in garages, National Guardsmen. Yeah, that was a tragedy, and that's what I wanted to capitalize. Is that instead of putting them in hotel rooms, they saved them for the immigrants. So if you're on travel right now and you want to go vacation, your hotel occupancy is probably kind of high right now because the immigrants are living in them and the government's paying the tag. But it just kills me. It goes back to this, and National Guardman was sleeping on fucking cement floor.
Yep.
10th floor. That's all I wanted to say. I just
Yep.
wanted to get that out there.
Yep.
The voice of the veterans.
But this nation's always
Thank you,
treated
sir.
their veterans that way. Those that serve this nation always get the shittiest treatment. Come on now, Demas. That's been that
Yeah.
way for years. That's
Yeah,
just the,
but it's changing though, Donnie.
Yeah,
A lot,
hopefully.
and I'm seeing a lot of veterans going for office too, man. And that's we
see
were
what
talking
happens.
about, yeah, and we were talking about standards for commander in chief, and I'd like to throw this question to Mr. Jim and Mr. Blaze. We were talking about standards being needed higher for the presidency. Should it be a requirement that he was in the military? I want your honest opinion. Blaze, you go first.
I don't think so.
So do you want to put a requirement that a president has to have served?
Yes. It's kind of tough. It's a tough question because not everybody is afforded. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't see that being a problem. To me, you know what I mean. I don't. You know, you'd have to serve your country in order to become president of the United States. Yeah. You can't be president of the United States if you was born in any other country.
Jim, what you got?
So, but wait a minute. So how does that?
Oh, how's that make you feel?
No, how does that work out? I mean, say you are was born in Morocco but served the United States Army. Does that entitle you to run for the president of the United States?
Was he born on a military installation or an embassy? Assigned to embassy duty
Is he a
because
natural born
No,
citizen?
no, because now we're getting technical. No, he's just
no, because that comes in line with me. You know,
Of course, D, because you
my
could say
my
he's born an
son
American citizen. Of course, he
my
was born American citizen.
my son was born in Germany with that,
Right.
so that would excommunicate him from being president because he wasn't born natural.
He wasn't born on a base.
Yes, he was.
All right, so I believe that he's an American
Nah,
citizen because he's born in American soil. That
Man,
base
these
is
dudes-
American soil.
But do you guys know
why
that?
why
if
the
you-
fuck are they dressed up like that?
Yeah, idiots.
Do you guys realize now that when things like that happen, they have to apply for American citizenship. It's not automatic.
What are you
They
talking
have to
about,
fill out
Donnie?
paperwork. Having a child of a birth, if the child you're
Yes,
born over there
yes,
on that
yes,
on
yes.
it's not automatic that baby's a U.S. citizen. They have to apply for citizenship for that child, for that baby. You have to do that
Yep.
now. It's not just automatic.
Yep, through
That's
the
kinda
Department of
crazy,
State.
too. Yep.
Yeah, but
But
I don't
I
believe
agree with-
that was in effect when you served, D.
I know,
mean, that's
right,
something
but-
that's recent.
No.
But Demas, I agree with, and I was trying to tell Blaze is that's what Demas is asking. Blaze is we're going to put that as an additional requirement that you have to have served, along with everything else about being born in the citizen, blah blah blah. I agree with that because there's so many different ways you can serve, and it just gives you a different perspective on things. You know, whether it's Army, Navy, whatever.
No,
Marine Corps,
I
whatever,
agree.
you know, and you got reserve, you got guard, you got all these different ways where you're not over there packing a ruck on your back, walking 12 miles a day, you know, with 50 pounds. It's not all that, you know what I mean? But you can still get a different perspective on how things go. It just, you know, how depending how long you stay in it. So I don't think that would be bad because once again, if you are president and you have served, you can stand in front of a formation and ask them to do something, and you can legitimately say, "I've been there." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's some
Yep.
meaning to that.
Oh, Jim,
So
what do you say?
I'd be good with that.
Jim?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it because I think it limits the pool of available
But see,
presidents.
yes, but see that's our problem. We'll dress anybody up, brush their teeth, get them bleached, get their hair nice pointed to the side, and dress them up and put them out there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I
Be
don't
dumb as a
disagree either
box
with
of
what.
rocks, but he had a
Yeah.
bunch of supporters.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what Donald just said either. I mean, it's a lot easier when you're a commander in chief who's been in the military than it is for some guy who has no insight or background into it, of course. But I don't know. I guess it's one of those situations that again, you could end up losing out on a really good candidate just because. You know what I mean? He didn't serve in the military. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it. I'm all for
Right.
veterans 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Roger.
I've never. What's that?
I was gonna say that's a good perspective because you know we don't. If we start limiting what you can do, then we don't get the best and the brightest. And then being the president, you sitting in that chair, I want you to be one of the best and brightest available. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see where that comes into play. And
the problem is the pool is dog shit at the moment anyway. But I mean, I kind of look at it again when you're hiring somebody to do a job. It's like, okay, well, if I can only hire this type of person, but this guy's actually got the skills, you know what I mean? It doesn't work. So that's my only stipulation. I would rather. Here's what I'll say. I would rather have a guy who was in the military or woman, whatever. I would rather have a person who was in the military as a president than not. But I would rather have somebody who is competent over anybody else, regardless of what that looks like, you know? Speaking of, here's a question for you guys. You guys are, we talk about, vets and all that stuff all the time. I donate to like 3 different charities, dude, right? And it's not a ton of money because I'm not friggin' rich. I usually do it. I get my taxes back, and there's like 3 of them: Wounded Warriors, Disabled American Vets, and Homes for Our Troops. But, dude, all through the year, these people send me like frickin', I don't know, gloves, frickin' checks for like $2. Almost every single day I get shit from them that I don't even use. Like they send me frickin' dish towels, pot holders, like every fucking day, dude. And I'm like, why are you sending me this shit? This is like more than what I've given you throughout the course of a year. I could open up like a frickin' shop with it.
Really?
I'm like, dude. I'm not kidding. I'll start sending you I'll send you guys some of the pictures. I mean, like envelopes full of stuff. I'm like, what the hell is this, dude?
Nah, that's cool, man.
Well, it is, but it's like, what's that?
I was gonna say, Davis, you want to tackle that? You know why they do that? Because
Well,
they
I
want
mean,
to appeal to your sympathetic side or your reversal side because you received something. Now you must
can give.
reciprocate.
But they literally send me a check for money and then go, can you send me a check? I'm like, dude, why'd you fucking send me this? Like you literally sent me money to send it back to you. I don't get it, you know? I mean, somebody told me, and that's why I was asking you if you knew anything about the insides of those, like the workings of those donations. Somebody was, charities.
That's what I'm telling you.
Some of them were saying, yeah, some people were telling me, again, I don't know if it's true, is what I was asking, but they make like different companies and stuff will have they're making whatever pot holders, for instance, and they donate a shit ton of them to them, but they can't give them away. So that's what ends up happening to them. So
yeah,
I just thought it was funny. I was like, dude, you stop sending me stuff. Give it to the people who need it, you know? That's why I gave it to you in the first place.
No, that's why they do that. It's on that because most people, depending on when they catch you in that mood, if they receive something, they want to reciprocate that and get something in return. That's why it's always a donation to the charity or whatever that they ask for in return. They give two shits about the potholder. They probably had some people in the orphanage living together. They want your money.
Yep.
That's all that is. That is a ploy for your money, and it's trying to get to that, that type of mentality. It's just targeted marketing. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Just like
easy.
Brady.
Falco,
Just like Brady, Giselle, David. FTX. And what they're going to get them for is false representation and deceptive conduct.
Yeah.
Is that that's an actual case they brought?
Oh
I know you
yeah,
guys were talking about.
yeah, man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I got my information from the from the court doc.
No kidding.
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
His name is
They don't got no
Sam.
kids, man. That's stupid.
Sam Bankman Fried.
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 It's pronounced Fried.
It's Fried.
No, it's pronounced Fried.
I would have seen that coming through my door. Get the fuck.
But yeah, they're all getting a lawsuit. So that's what I understand how they're saying that they're deceptive, but you as an individual, you made that investment, you made that choice. I don't understand how they're liable for your choice.
It's like suing the actors that do the Aflac commercial. If Aflac goes under and screws hundreds of thousands of people out of billions of dollars, you arrest and sue them actors and spokespersons for the shit. It don't make no fucking sense to me.
No, that's totally different. That's insurance.
Yeah, but those actors,
that's not
their actors probably have a liability clause in that contract they signed that said you can't. You and your team will cover any legal fees that come from someone trying to sue me being stupid. You know what I mean? That's why they cover themselves.
There's a risk in everything. There's a risk of going to college, a risk of losing money, and they lost it here, man.
All right, so
they
why?
Lost it. And I want to see the big time names of who lost because you're going to see the trail. Yeah. You're going to see this trail get longer.
Yeah, the Democrats lost the biggest.
Beto O'Rourke, he threw back $1 million he gave to him for his Texas governor thing.
Well, I saw a lot of that. They were saying a lot of these people that got the donations, the Republicans and Democrats were all giving the money back. But that's only because they got caught, dude.
Yes, of course.
They never would have gave it back. Come on. And that's what I mean. Nobody would even know about any of this. That's the part, again, in the beginning that I was bringing up in general is like, dude, all the money that flowed from this company through this guy into these people, into these politicians for donations, nobody would have known about it if they didn't go bankrupt and shit tons of people lost money. It would just be swept under the rug. And it would just be this freaking money laundering scheme, which all it is.
Right.
It really is.
Right. What the whole point is Democrats lost money. So now it's a thing.
You pretty much got a shit ton of people to buy into this company. I mean, that's where the dude makes his money.
Yeah.
He funneled the money through the company from people.
Yeah.
And then gave it back to different, you know what I mean? Political
money laundering at its finest.
Yeah.
And I personally wanted to consider crypto, but the risks are too high for me right now where I'm at in life.
Well, and that's that was the other point I was going to make. What's the difference of like a Mohegan Sun commercial or a commercial for a casino like Foxwoods? Come to Foxwoods, la-di-da, we'll screw you to death.
Right.
It's the same thing. Either you're playing stocks, you're playing cryptos, or you're playing the blackjack table. Like, what's the difference? I guess.
No,
that's what I'm asking.
That one commercial, and there's a lot of commercials with different actors, high paid athletes doing commercials for this FTX guy, and what they try to promote here is trust.
And I think the only way, though, I guess to a certain degree, but I mean, I don't know. I think the only way they could ever really nail him is if they knew for a fact that this was, you know what I mean? I don't see how they can still do that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be interested. I'm going to definitely
Yeah,
keep my eyes on that.
we'll touch base on it again.
Definitely.
With that being said, I'd like to thank everybody that tuned into tonight's show here of the Rabbit Hole. Hope you had a good time watching us, going back and forth like we normally do, and I'm glad that everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Christmas time's coming around, and we might we're working on FFN Media Networks working on doing a beautiful Christmas tree contest. Okay, you're gonna take a picture of your Christmas tree or whatever, and you're gonna put them in a comment on FFN Radio Network on Facebook, and then every show is going to vote on the person's best Christmas tree picture, and FFN Radio Network will be giving $100 away for that.
Best picture.
Well, your best picture of your Christmas tree, yes.
Best picture.
Keep an eye out for that on FFN Radio Network on Facebook page, and peace
It's
and
not
love.
network. It's not network no more, producer. It's media. It's the sign of the times.
It's the sign of the times, brother. You got it. You got it. So
love you, bro.
So with that being said, peace and love to each and every one of you out there. Donald.
I just thank everybody for listening, connecting, however we're getting through. But just think positive, do positive everywhere we can, and I don't know. I think we might be in trouble here soon because I just can't have. I don't see how we can have shit and put them together and make anything good come this next president.
Absolutely not, Jim.
I ain't got much to say. Just take care till next week. Spread the love, man.
Date.
Thanks, Mr. Jim. Thanks, Blazeman. Thanks, Donald, and the viewers, of course. It was a little slow today. It always happens. We always pick it up at the end, man. We need to do a delayed show or something. I don't know. But
pre-record.
Positivity, man. I like that word, Donnie. Yes, sir. That's all I have, Blaze. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Catch you next Tuesday right here on the Rabbit Hole, FFN Media Network, 7 to 9 p.m. Peace, everybody.